you are expert on the border wall, which is one way we're going to pay for tax reform. How did you observe yesterday's event if we're not going to have this incoming revenue, not have this incoming revenue, and not have another incoming revenue? Is it empirical fantasy?
Well, it's empirical fantasy to think that growth can pay for everything. There's no doubt about that. But it's also incredibly bad for us as economists to give bad analysis. And when you cloud the border tax with analysis about the exchange rate and how the exchange rate is going to offset and take away all these bad economic effects, you're really mistaking and giving the leaders bad advice. The leaders have to know that they have a tool in their hands, but they should use it to raise revenues.
Where are the guys like you in the White House? Come on, we've had all these experts, and we are honored, folks, at Surveillance to speak to present, past people, Jason Furman, Peter Orszag, and on where are the adults, the economic adults within this conversation in the White House?
The adults are in the children's room, playing with toy models and trying to talk about how the exchange rate does things that it doesn't do historically, and that distracts us from, and distracts policymakers from getting good advice. And I think what we need to know is a dose of reality.
Yeah, I want to make clear, Guy, Gary Cohn is driving the boat here, and he's a great guy, but he's not a frontline monetary or fiscal economist like some of these experts. I mean, this thing got torn to shreds overnight.
Absolutely, but we are starting a process that appears to be pointing us towards, and you can see it in some of the military engagements as well, using the mechanism of government. So I just wonder whether or not we're going to see more of that as we work our way towards the final draft of what we're ultimately going to see, rather than simply bullet points. William, where is the productivity improvement going to come from? We're not going to get it out of tax. When are we going to get the infrastructure spending? What does deregulation look like? Because in many ways, that's the more important part for the US economy.
Absolutely, and productivity is the application of technology to increasing output. And that's something that we have failed to do. And that's in fact, one of the objectives of the Milken Institute is to say, how do we increase global prosperity by increasing the access to capital that increases technology, increases access to capital, and also increasing jobs and increasing wealth and good health. Now, those objectives that we've been working for really are based on good economic policies, and those policies have to have realistic analyses.